What is going on, Ballers? My name is Corey, and welcome back to Ballers on a Budget. Uh, on the other end of the Zoom meeting, as usual, we got your boy Cody. He's there, I swear to God.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm an unforgettable. Thanks.
But thanks for coming back to us. Today, we're going to knock off this last division, the NFC South. We're going to go through the roster. That way we can get on to this tier list that we've been talking about for a couple of weeks now. So let's go ahead and jump straight in. First up, we have the Atlanta Falcons.
Baby.
First off, obviously everybody knows they still got your boy Noodle Arm, Matt Ryan, Matty Ice, chucking the rock there.
But they yards last year, so I mean that Noodle Arm can sling it. 26 to 11 touchdown to interception ratio.
I agree.
I mean he can sling it. He's not the MVP type that we used to know Matty Ice for, but
probably one of the more overlooked QBs as well.
He's just really consistent so far, especially on this Falcons offense, which has been swapped up quite a bit over the years.
Yeah. But they also did agree to terms with A.J. McCarron as a backup. But just like most of the backups we've talked about, ain't touching the field. But I do believe it's more likely that A.J. McCarron touches the field more than any other backup.
Oh, yeah, for sure. A.J. McCarron's actually filled in for other people.
And Matt Ryan's no rookie to injury.
All right, going on to running back. Hit him with the sign.
Signed a 2-year deal, $5.5 million, 3 of it guaranteed. Mike Davis. He was the Panthers running back?
Yep, 642 yards, 6 touchdowns. Obviously, you cannot replace Christian McCaffrey, but he didn't do it well when he was in there for 15 games. Only had 105 attempts.
Who's their number one? Is he their number one over there? I haven't even looked yet.
At Falcons?
Yeah.
Yes, he is the number one, but they do have Quandre Olison as well.
Oh, Cordarrelle is who I was thinking of. Okay.
Olison all last year. So we'll see how he's doing. Wonder how young he is when he was drafted.
I think Mike Davis is a serviceable running back. I think he'll do fine.
He ain't gonna win you any games, and that's Atlanta's problem. They don't have any game winners on this. I know Matty Ryan used to be known for his comeback drives. Really lost in the Super Bowl by a comeback by Tom Brady. It's not been good since. The only good note on this whole offensive page is that they did take a rookie tight end, Kyle Pitts. Came out of Florida, one of the biggest names on tight end coming out in the draft. He's supposed to have hands for days. So maybe Matt Ryan will challenge that inner tight end seeking eye that he used to have for, what's his name, Tony Gonzalez.
Yeah.
They're great.
Jumping all the way to tight ends. Acquired in a trade with Buffalo Bills.
Not bad. I forgot wide receiver.
Somebody named Lee Smith for our late round 22 draft pick. On the other side of things, wide receiver Cordarrelle Patterson signed for a 1-year, $3 million contract, and Tajay Sharp 1 year. On top of, losing Julio.
Yep. So that makes Calvin Ridley their number one. Calvin Ridley is no pushover. I mean, as a rookie, he did amazing. And this last year, he had 1,300 yards, targeted nearly 150 times, hauled in 90 catches, 9 touchdowns. I mean, they're banking on Calvin Ridley replacing Julio, filling that giant gap.
I think eventually doable, yeah. Number 2 wide receiver coming in, Russell Gage, who I liked watching last year. He had 72 receptions of 110 targets for almost 800 yards.
Yeah.
What was his average? About 5 yards per reception, 4 touchdowns. So decent number 2. I know he's quick. His route running could be just a tad better, but I'm a fat guy sitting in a chair. He's on the field, so.
Say their third wide receiver right now.
I'm not in their depth chart, but I can be.
Olamide Zacchaeus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sure.
I butchered it.
Oh, I see it now. Yeah.
But he only had 20 receptions last year, 275 yards and a touchdown. I mean, they bumped him up to number 3, so they got to think he has something. But I would expect Cordell Patterson and Tajay Sharp to take the place as a 3rd and 4th. You would think off their previous places where they were.
See, I don't know. Based on this lineup alone, I'm saying they use Kyle Pitts as kind of a 3rd receiver.
Kyle Pitts should be their number 3 or 2, depending on how Matty Ice is going to target tight ends this year.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's not a horrible offense. We're going to skip right over the line. I'm ready to go to defense if you are.
Yep, they really didn't sign anybody on offense anyways. Defensive-wise, Barcavius Mingo was signed to a 1-year deal, but they did end up releasing him because he was arrested for holy fuck. I didn't know that. He was arrested on charges of indecency with a child, sexual contact. The fuck?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to make that any more awkward. Moving on, Jonathan Bullard, Brandon Copeland, Fabian Morrow. I don't even know how to say this name. Duran Harmon and Eric Harris are the last 2 safeties assigned 1-year deals.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this defense didn't do too much last year. Only had 29 sacks, 12 interceptions. I just don't think this defense is going to hold up. And even the names that they did sign, nobody too big. I like Deion Jones, their linebacker.
Yeah, I mean, even with the great, Todd Gurley, they finished 4-12 last year.
Especially with this division, can you keep up? Can you stop them on defense? And that's going to be important. And I don't think
absolutely
6-5 wins for Atlanta. I'm done with them. Let's go on to the next. You ready?
Yep. Absolutely. Next one up is what? Carolina Panthers. It's a lot of switching up here. Let me scroll down to it.
Back in town, boy.
No longer Teddy Bridgewater slinging the ball there. No longer, obviously, it's been a year or 2 since Cam Newton's been there. Your boy Sam Darnold got traded for a 2021 6th-round pick, as well as a 2nd and 4th rounder in 2022. I like Darnold. I don't hate the guy. I think he can be better with a better system than he had. I mean, it was the fucking Jets, for God's sakes.
Jets. And I would have rather seen Ghost out there than what his receivers he was dealt with. Now he's kind of set up in a slightly better position, I would say, but not anything horribly better either. So Panthers are going to be hard to watch, I predict. I mean,
I think they're going to be pretty fun.
The bad thing on Darnold, he had 9 touchdowns and 11 interceptions last year.
What'd you say? 9 touchdowns? Oh, okay. So more picks than touchdowns. Okay.
Yeah, I'll say it wasn't good by any means. He played 12 games. Let's hopefully he can make better use because who's behind Sam Darnold?
PJ Walker. Never heard of the dude.
PJ Walker. I know he was a backup. He was a backup to Carolina as well.
I have heard of this Will Greer for some weird reason. At least it sounds familiar.
They're I think last year's draft pick.
But in
2019, my fault. 2019 draft pick. They thought he was going to come in and be something. He ended up being nothing so far. So we'll see. He was good in college.
But yeah, like you were saying, they don't have a Christian McCaffrey in New York, or I think this receiving core is a ton better than what they had in New York when he was there.
He was running back quite a bit too. So
I mean, you have to.
Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, and he's a good receiver out of the backfield. I mean, dude can cover it all as long as he stays healthy. Speaking of that, I'm going to click on. Let me see if there was any drafts or any pickups. Nope, no running back pickups. But last year, how many games did he play?
McCaffrey only played like 3 or so.
Yeah, I was going to say I knew it wasn't many.
Davis got
okay, yeah.
Really produced much.
59 attempts, 225 yards, 5 touchdowns.
But they did draft in the 4th round Chuba Hubbard out of Oklahoma State, which is kind of a. I thought Chuba fell later than I thought he would go, which is round 4, and I think he'll be a good backup, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't answer that question. I don't know anything about him.
He's a big guy, likes to run over people. Oklahoma State. I mean, he's not gonna. If Christian McCaffrey stays healthy, I think it all plays out good. You can't put Chuba in there right away as number 1 and let him get the shit beat out of him. And with the NFL speed and everything, like it would be a massacre. But I like how he would back up Christian McCaffrey and take some of the 3rd down runs, maybe goal line.
Oh, goal line stance, exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. I think that'd be perfect if he's a dude who likes to tank people over.
Yeah, and Christian McCaffrey is one of the most elusive. So you got a little bit of salt, you got a little bit of pepper. Bam! It's a nice flavor. The only good flavor you're going to get on this big bite called the fucking Carolina Panthers. The rest is bitter. So,
all right, let's jump into the receiving core. Picked up David Moore, signed a 2-year contract, $4.75 million, and tight end Dan Arnold, who I think we were just talking about him a couple of videos ago. Yeah. I want to say came over from Arizona. I think. I could be completely wrong or mistaken. But anyways, you have Robbie Anderson, DJ Moore.
For 1,000 yards.
Terrace Marshall and Dan Arnold, like I said. Who Robbie Anderson, little dude, but he is quick and hangs onto the ball. 95 receptions, 136 targets.
Both of them had over 1,000 yards. That's what I meant to say earlier, not just DJ Moore. Yeah. But the reception difference is incredible. DJ Moore was 66, Robbie Anderson with 95. The touchdowns both under 5. But damn, if Christian McCaffrey can stay healthy and add another 90 receptions to him, because he's an escape pod too.
Absolutely.
Trouble, a little bit down to him. He can make a 5-yard loss into a 10-yard gain if he wanted to. That's the type of player he is. But the receivers aren't nothing to laugh at either. So I think he's got better receivers here than he did in New York.
Oh, absolutely. All right, let's go ahead and skip this O-line. A couple of signings. I'm not going to mention them. We'll go right back to defense. Daquan Jones, Morgan Fox, Denzel Perriman, Hassan Reddick, A.J. Boye, Rashawn Melvin, J.J. Jansen, So a couple good signings there. On top of Shaq Thompson. Let's see who else is here. That's really all I'm familiar with. I know Hassan Reddick. Yeah, let's see what. Oh, I clicked the wrong button. Let's see what this defense did stat-wise. If I can click the right button this time.
Boye
defense
over PEDs. Damn.
What'd you say?
AJ Boye suspended 6 games over PEDs.
That sucks. I just saw somebody else was suspended, but I don't remember the name. Okay, let's see. Pass deflections. 58 pass deflections for this defense. How many sacks? 29 sacks. So not getting to the quarterback that often, which is obviously why they went 5-11 last year. How many picks? Only 7 interceptions on the year. So a little, obviously AJ Boye is being out's not going to help them. But a little
but they're lacking.
Lackluster on this defense.
And their middle is, I think, pretty damn good. It's just their secondary's lacking a little bit. If they had AJ Boye out there, it'd be a little bit better coverage, but it's still all about keeping up. And there's a lot of questions in this whole division. We already talked about Atlanta and their, what I would say, a good offense. Carolina, they have a good offense as well, I think, but they have Sam Darnold at helm, so it's going to affect them a lot when we grade it.
Yeah, with that grade, I'd say we move that down to okay for right now until we see what he can do.
Yeah, but can their defense make stops? Because we already know what Tampa Bay can do. Tom Brady's a legend. And then New Orleans Saints, I know we don't know who's running the helm QB-wise there, but Sean Payton's a mastermind, and he's always going to get touchdowns and score, especially with Alvin Kamara, but we'll get there. But right now the question is, can Carolina get stops and
one
on the field to put them in position for Sam Darnold to get multiple attempts at scores, because it's Sam Darnold. He's going to turn the ball over.
Yeah. One thing I want to mention before we move on, they had 14 forced fumbles and 15 fumble recoveries. 3 of them returned for a touchdown. That stat just kind of blew my mind real quick.
Oh, okay. Defense,
but yeah,
line would look amazing if Kuechly was in there. It makes me sad.
Oh yeah, yeah. It is kind of sad looking through there and not seeing his name.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm good on him.
Yep.
You are.
Keep it moving.
All right. Next, we're heading down to New Orleans. Obviously, like you just mentioned, we don't know who's guaranteed to be slinging the ball here. You got Jameis Winston re-signed for a 1-year, $5.5 million. But you also have, on the other hand, why am I blanking on his name?
Whose name?
Hill.
Taysom Hill?
Yeah, Taysom. That's it. Taysom Hill. I don't know why. I just drew a blank on dude's name. I watched. He was the most fun to watch last year. But yeah, obviously they're going to be battling up until week 1.
Sean Payton has a plan. We just don't know what he's going to do. Taysom Hill did get the starts all last year. Not all last year. I apologize. When Breeze was out. And in his absence, he had 121 attempts, 88 completions for a 72% completion, had 928 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions for Taysom Hill. So, I mean, at least he got a little bit of sample taste. I know Jameis Winston, the last thing we seen him do was do the 30 for 30. But then he's had surgery since then and everything. So, I mean, there's a huge question mark all around on these QBs.
Yeah, I'd like to actually dive into like preseason stats right now on him, because right now it says he played 4 games last year. He went 7 of 11. His longest pass was 19 yards. So I mean, I hope he's doing a little better. I didn't like him when he played in Tampa Bay. Obviously, not many people did, through a lot of picks. But I just hope he gets better.
All 3 quarterbacks this past game. They lost 14-17 to the Baltimore Ravens. Jameis went 7 for 12, 96 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. Taysom went 8 for 12, 81, no touchdowns and interception. And then Ian Brook, the third on the list, went 9 for 16, 126, 0 and 1 interception.
So I think Taysom's going to win that starting job. I really do.
I don't know. He's more of a gadget player, so he's got a little bit more threat. But Taysom's more the pure passer, so it's kind of what Sean Payton wants.
But yeah, he had to be that type of player, though.
Start with Winston, and then throw Taysom in there for gadget plays and stuff. Always run 1 quarterback, 1 running back set, but the running back can throw in certain formations.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I'm sure he'll stick to a little bit of the playbook as last year.
Close to Sean Payton, so we'll see what they do. All right, let's move on from these.
I was going to say, yeah, but moving on, they signed Devontae Freeman 1-year deal. Ty Montgomery re-signed for a 1 year. As a signing bonus. I thought he only signed a $137,000 contract, but if that was a signing bonus. Okay. But they also have
still got the timeshare. The timeshare is still here. Obviously, being the better part of the timeshare, Alvin Kamara, 187 attempts, 932 yards, 16 touchdowns. Then the other part of the timeshare, Latavius Murray essentially scooted out. Who was in before Latavius Murray in second back? He went to the Ravens. I can't think of his name.
Mark Ingram.
Yes, big hype guy. I like Mark Ingram.
But so do I.
Essentially replaced him and exacted his role. 146 attempts, 656 yards, but only 4 touchdowns. Obviously, that going to Kamara the most. But Taysom did. Yeah. Taysom Hill had 450 rushes as well. 87 attempts as a quarterback rushing. Had 8 touchdowns. So, I mean, that's the type of gadget threat you get with Taysom. But let's stay on track with the running backs. And as long as you have that timeshare and they stay healthy, you don't need much more. Devontae Freeman's an old additive that's been injured. But, I mean, if you need to lean on him as a third or even a second, I think you'll be all right.
Yeah, I think they have a very good cluster of running backs. I like everybody in here.
They have a lot of playmakers, so
absolutely. Let's move on to this receiving core. Picked up Chris Hogan, signed him to a 1-year free agent contract, and Nick Van Nett as a tight end. I liked him. Big dude. In Seattle and in Pittsburgh, they just didn't use him well. Signed him to a 3-year deal. But they also have, I don't know if this is, I know they were questioning Michael Thomas on whether or not he was returning.
Yeah, it's another big question mark.
Yeah.
There was some discrepancy with his surgery. Apparently, last year when he got it injured, he got a second opinion, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You know, that always goes. And he didn't have surgery on it right away, wanted to see how it would heal and everything. And then apparently when the time came, they were like, hey, you need to have surgery on this so it can get better before the games. And apparently he just not answering the calls, not happy with the coaching staff, medical staff, whatever. We'll see how that shapes up. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't like all these cryptic tweets.
And control is going to be something. But in the 7 games he did play last year, he had 400 yards. You know he's a dog. He's going to be their number 1 if he doesn't do any holdout or they don't trade him or anything. Their number 2 is Traquan Smith. Traquan Smith only had 34 receptions for 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. They do not have their number 1 tight end last year from Jared Cook. They don't have Emmanuel Sanders anymore. Marquez Callaway.
He only had 3. Oh, whoa. This is this game. 21 receptions. On 27 targets, though, 213 yards.
Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of question marks. And you can't forget about their true number 2 wide receiver in Alvin Kamara, who 83 receptions for 756 yards and 5 touchdowns. So, I mean, threats all over the place. We'll see if this offense just shapes up with Michael Thomas being in place. And then
speaking of offense, let's go ahead and skip that. J.R. Sweezy, James Hurst is really the only.
Speaking of it, let's not.
Yeah.
Moving on to
the only signings on here, but Quan Alexander, linebacker. Prince Amukamara. Kivare, dude, I don't know how to say that name. Kivare Russell, cornerback, signed to a free agent contract, and another cornerback, PJ Williams, 1 year, $2.3 million. Safety Marcus Williams, get the franchise tag.
Yeah, and
let's see what
their captain, Cameron Jordan, is a beast as always. Loves getting after the quarterback. I think he's still going to dog it. Like you just mentioned, they didn't now have, but Quan Alexander's there, Demario Davis, Malcolm Jenkins, Marcus Williams, Marshawn Lattimore, we all know is a lockdown corner. I think this defense is going to be good like they were last year as well. So as long as the defense is going to stay there, it's just a matter of their offense and Sean Payton putting people in the right positions to succeed.
Cam Jordan alone had 34 solo tackles, 17 assisted, 7.5 sacks for 42 yards, 13 tackles for loss, 3 pass deflections. So yeah, they finished 12-4.
They had 45 sacks as a team. 45 sacks as a team.
Yep,
that's crazy.
84 pass deflections.
Damn. 18 interceptions. Like, this defense is going to stay good.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I see them finishing up
all over
top.
To get to offense.
But yeah.
How much time we got left so we can move on to the last team. And the last team will like this concept. The Super Bowl champs.
Yeah, we got about a little over 13 minutes. We'll be good.
Yeah,
obviously Super Bowl champs. They signed a couple quarterbacks. Don't need them. Blaine Gabbert, Ryan Griffin, both on undisclosed terms.
You don't need them. When Tom Brady slinging for 4,600 yards for 40 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. Crazy.
Yeah, dude's just an absolute beast.
How old is Tom Brady? Like, I want to look up his actual age right now. 44.
Yep.
Moving on to running back. You got Lenny Football, Leonard Fournette.
Yep, re-signed him to a 1-year deal, which 1 year is kind of weird.
Leonard came in the picture more so in the playoffs. Didn't really have a great season as well. He was kind of in a timeshare as well.
Yep.
Only had 400 yards and 6 touchdowns, and you know how it was. Running back was weird for this team last year. It was really
absolutely.
Here's a little bit, here's a little bit, here's a little bit. Now get the hell out of my way and let Tom Brady do his thing. That was it.
So what running back core you have? They also picked up Giovanni Bernard.
Oh, okay.
To a 1-year deal. So you have Bernard, Fournette, and obviously still Rojo
Yeah, Rojo was the better running back, nearly 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns, but they have Leonard Fournette as number 1 right now. I don't know why.
I think they did that last year too. I always thought, and I didn't look up like stats as much as I do now, but I always thought Rojo was just a hair better than Fournette, and somehow they always had him first. I don't know. It was just weird.
Andy Reid's going to get it done no matter what. Going on to their stacked receiving core, I personally think. You got Mike Evans, 70 receptions, 1,000 yards, 13 touchdowns. Chris Godwin, 65 receptions.
Who received a franchise tag this year.
7 touchdowns. They still got Rob. They still got Antonio.
Just re-signed both of them.
Apparently him and Brady have a love connection or something like that. O.J. Howard's their backup, and Cameron Brate's their third. Like, they're set all over on offense right now. Their offensive line is good, but we're not even going to get into that, but we will. They know how to protect the quarterback. Ready to move the defense?
Yeah, I'll give you some signings here.
Incredible defense as well. Like, this team is so hard. It's going to be hard not to claim them a Super Bowl champ when the season starts because of what they've done and how the team has stayed nearly perfectly identical to last year.
Yeah, Shaquille Barrett re-signed for $68 million. Rakeem Nunez Ranches re-signed with the Bucks. And Ndamukong Suh signed a 1-year deal. Levante David re-signed. Kevin Minter re-signed. Ross Cockrell re-signed. They signed safety Raven Green. Ryan Suckup re-signed. So, I mean, they spent their off season just protecting what they had last year, and I think it's going to pay off for them.
This team had 48 sacks last year. What was the interceptions I seen? 15. Yeah, 15 interceptions. I don't know about fumbles. You want to get that for me? But this defense just gets after it. And in the Super Bowl, it was incredible to see them stop such an insanely high-powered offense like the Chiefs and just completely shut them down like they did. Like you already
15 forced fumbles, 10 fumbles returned for a touchdown. Fumble recovery. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong one.
Playmakers all over the damn place. You already mentioned Ndamukong Suh, Jason Pierre-Paul, Devin White, Levante David, Shaquille Barrett is a huge person that gets after the ball. Carlton Davis, Antoine Winfield Jr., the guy who held up the peace sign to Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Murphy Bunting is pretty good at coverage. I mean, and how Andy Reid constructs everything on defensively. I'm sure the defensive coordinator has a part in that, but Andy Reid oversees everything. And I just love this defense. I love this offense. And like I said before, it's going to be hard.
Wait, is that the second time you've said Andy Reid?
Yeah.
But it's not. Right? Am I crazy?
Yeah, you're crazy. It's Andy Reid.
No.
No, oh, wow.
Andy Reid's fucking KC.
Yeah, I am high, yeah. Andy, it's, what's his face? Wow.
What the hell is his name?
I'm drawing a huge blank, and now I feel fucking stupid for even making that. I even mentioned them in the Super Bowl, too.
Bruce Arians.
Yes, thank you.
I heard you say Andy Reid last time, and I was like...
I said it twice.
Wait.
Times.
Yeah. Dude, you had me thinking I was wrong.
I said it, and I was like, okay, Andy Reid with Tom Brady. I was like, that doesn't even seem right.
Whatever you say it with confidence, you'll get away with it.
My mom was telling me, so I was like, all right, I just got to come up with it. But yeah, I am fucking dumb. It's Bruce Arians.
Yeah, Bruce Arians. But I don't know if you mentioned it, Devin White's 97 solo tackles, 9 sacks for 70 yards, 18 of those tackle for loss.
Love it.
So, I mean, that's just one of the tons of amazing stats for this defense.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm going to say that for the third fucking time. And this is the one thing I'm going to be right on, if anything. It's going to be hard out of every team not to pick them to be number one in the power ranking in this fucking tier we got going on. And it's going to be very hard not to pick them number one, but you can't fall victim to it.
Yeah, not at all, because, I mean, everybody's getting better every day. Oh,
including an aging Tom Brady, apparently, too. So, I mean.
Yeah, he just tweeted out the other day. He said he feels healthier than he ever has.
I'm sure he has, dude. There's got to be something he's doing with the Fountain of Youth, injecting infant blood. I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm good with everything if you are.
Oh, yeah, I'm good, man.
All right. Pretty good time on that one. We've kind of sped through that one pretty quick. And that wraps up, finally, the NFL rosters. Obviously, after today, in the past couple of weeks, we'll let you know budget news-wise if anybody crazy gets picked up or if anybody moves or
Michael Thomas holds out or gets traded. Yeah, oh yeah.
Exactly.
So season starting, baby, and I'm excited.
We are into preseason, so it is coming very closely, which means we need to get this tier list out. We will be doing it soon enough. Don't forget to tune into that. Aside from that, the rosters are done. We are going to do the tier list. Fantasy football is coming up. We will be doing a video on that as well at our live draft. It's going to be great. And then just regular football starts. We're back to predicting. Obviously, we're still doing the budget news. We're just getting after it again, just like when basketball was full steam ahead. It's about to be a fun time. But anyways, that's enough of my rambling. My name was Corey. That's your boy Cody on the other end. Don't forget to hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. We're Ballers on a Budget, and we'll see you on the next one.
Peace.